In every way, comfort and convenience has come our way because of engineering the world. But human well-being will not come because of engineering or fixing the outside. If you fix the outside, it will become comfortable, convenient. But well-being will happen only if you fix this one, otherwise it will not happen. Whatever you do with the outside, you can never fix the outside 100% the way you want it. Not a single situation in your life happens 100% the way you want it, isn't it? You have some stake, a little bit happens your way, little bit happens my way, it's okay. The world is not happening your way, and not a single person in your life is happening 100% the way you want them. Is that so? Your parents, your children, your spouse, your friend, your partner, does anybody happen 100% the way you want them? Has anybody happened? Not even your dog. These days they do their own thing, isn't it? Nobody happens your way. That's not the problem. The problem is, this one is not happening your way. That is the problem, isn't it? If this was happening the way you want it, how would you keep it? It's a question. If this one was happening 100% the way you want him, how would you keep him? Blissful or miserable?
Happy and peaceful.
Absolutely blissful, isn't it? As pleasant as you can, isn't it? So, right now the problem is just this one is not happening the way you want it to be. Or this is happening accidentally. If you're an accidental being, if you're happening accidentally, you're always a potential calamity, isn't it? What is it, first of all, that you call as myself? When you say myself, what are the things you're referring to? You're not referring to your house, your car, your clothes, are you? When you say myself, you're talking about this one. Everything is happening the way you want it, but this one thing is not happening the way you want it, and that's misery, isn't it? Every activity, whatever you do, your business, why you build a business, why you build a family, why you're in pursuit of a career, why you're doing everything that you're doing, whether you're going to the temple or to the bar, you're still in pursuit of your well-being, isn't it so? Yes? The man who goes to the temple, he thinks that's where his well-being is. The man who goes to the bar, he thinks that's where his well-being is, isn't it so? Both are in pursuit of the same thing. Both are in pursuit of some kind of pleasantness. Well, some people want to go to heaven, why? Because the advertisements have always said heaven is a very pleasant place. If they had told you heaven is an unpleasant place, do you want to go there? So whether you are doing this or that, whether you want to be here or you want to go to heaven, still you are in pursuit of pleasantness. Especially, now all that is okay, but how can I be pleasant within myself? Have you met my mother-in-law? Have you seen my boss? I've seen all of them. Especially if your outsides have become unpleasant, is it not all the more important that you keep your insides pleasant? For some reason, if the outside has turned unpleasant, is it extremely important that you keep your internal very, very pleasant? Because external pleasantness needs cooperation from many ingredients. Sometimes you manage it, sometimes you cannot. But your inner pleasantness, there's only one ingredient, yourself. This one thing should happen the way you want it, isn't it? The world may not cooperate, but I'm asking, are you willing to cooperate with your own well-being? How many of you have had at least one 24-hour segment in your life. In these many years of life, just one 24-hour segment where you were utterly blissful, not a moment of anxiety, not a moment of irritation, not a moment of anger, not a moment of disturbance. You went through 24 hours blissfully. Very, very few human beings can say yes to this. See, if one day went wrong, understandable. If not a single day has happened the way you want it, something very fundamental is off the mark, isn't it? Yes? If not even one 24 hours happened exactly the way you want it, something very basic is off the track, isn't it? This is because we are functioning accidentally. We are operating this human mechanism without any knowing about it, without any understanding about it. For example, you sat in your car, you don't know what these three pedals are, you kick any one of them whenever you feel like it. You know what a jerky driver you will be? That's all it is right now. It is not that you do not know peace, it is not that you do not know joy, it is not that you do not know moments of blissfulness and ecstasy. The problem is just that it is not sustainable, isn't it? It is jerky. Your well-being is right now in a jerky state. This moment you're wonderful, next moment you're nasty, this moment you're beautiful, next moment you're ugly, this moment you're joyful, next moment you don't know what. Isn't this the way it's happening? When you were 5 years of age, how joyful you were. And today, how joyful you are in terms of how many moments in a day. Has it gone up or gone down? Gone down. See, when you were 5 years of age, you had no life of your own, whatever they said you had to do. Today you have a life of your own, everything is yours, but everything that you do, you did only in pursuit of your well-being and joy, but it is going down. Then something basic is off the rack, isn't it? Nobody is old enough for this here. Suppose you owned a car, you got yourself a car in 1940s. Along with this, you need 2 servants because morning push start. In 1950s, if you got a car, 1 help would do because crank start. Today all your cars are self-start, isn't it? All I'm asking you is, your joyfulness, your peacefulness, your well-being, shall we keep it on push start or shall we get it on self-start? I want to hear that. Self-start? I'm only talking about upgrading technologies. But right now it is still on push start, isn't it so? If only consciously you could conduct this, you would exist here as the Creator Himself. You would make your life just the way you want it. So, I think the most important engineering that needs to happen is that you engineer yourself the way you want yourself to be before we start engineering the world. Once you have come as a human being, somehow survival is not enough, isn't it? Just to eat, sleep, reproduce and die one day somehow is not enough for a human being. If you had come as any other creature on this planet, stomach full, life settled. But once you come here as a human being, stomach empty, only one problem. Stomach full, 100 problems. Your life begins only after survival is taken care of, isn't it? Now, once you're a human being, you're constantly looking for something else. Some sense of fulfillment, something to go beyond. We will look at this later. But right now, whatever you want to pursue, first and foremost thing is, your experience of life should be taken into your hands, isn't it? When you were 5 years of age, your face was like this, beaming. Slowly, lot of faces are becoming long, not because they're growing a beard, just like that. You go and stand on any of the main streets in your town. Every minute hundreds of people are passing, lot of them driving their dream machines. How many joyful faces do you see on the street? Huh? How many? If you see any, usually they are very young faces. Over 30 faces are all long faces. What's happened to them? For most of them, their lives have happened far better than they ever imagined. For most of you, your lives have happened far better than you ever imagined. You're definitely living better than your father or your grandfather, I'm saying materially. Yes? Materially, are you not living better than your fathers and grandfathers? Unless your grandfather happened to be a Maharaja. So it is not that there is something wrong with your life, but faces are becoming long. Why? If you're in pursuit of your happiness and trying to fix the whole world, it is an endless distance. If you turn around, it is right here. Because the basis of your experience is within you. So, what we are looking at is to turn around. This is a simple method, a simple technology to turn inward. If you turn inward and take charge of the basis or the seat of your experience, after that, do I have to tell you, please choose joy, don't choose misery? Do you need a scripture like this? Do you need a teaching like this? If you had a choice, your choice would definitely be pleasantness. There is no question about that. Right now, the problem is, you have lost the choice. Why is it that you have lost the choice? Simply without understanding even the fundamentals of this system, you are trying to operate. What is happening within you should not happen by chance. This should happen just by intent, not by accident, isn't it? Because this is such an accidental being, we are switching to all kinds of belief systems. Now, this is not a belief system, this is not a philosophy, this is not a teaching, this is a technology. You have to learn to use it. Unless you learn to use it, it will not work.